three different energy-saving plugs, two from one supplier with different ratings and one from another supplier. And I got them all to compare what's actually inside them. Now, the concept behind these is that you plug them into any socket in your home and they miraculously reduce your electricity bill by, well, you know, various excuses, power factor corrections, smoothing out the power. And usually these things contain capacitors, and the only thing they're going to have as a positive effect is they may reduce slight transients or noise in the lines. But let's open them up and take a look. I'm particularly intrigued. Well, let's open these ones first, because these two came from the same supplier and one of them had a much higher rating. So this one is labelled 18,000 watts. This isn't the amount of power they will handle, incidentally. This is just their, well, it's not doesn't mean anything, to be honest. It's just a made up figure. And this one says 18,000 watts. Well, that's a bit disappointing because these two were supposed to be a high power and a low power one. Let's take a look at the other one then. This one says, that's better, 30,000 watts. 30 kilowatts this thing is capable of filtering and reducing your bill by, etc. So let's open them up. Let's open them all up. Push the screwdriver right through that label. What am I expecting to see? That's not fitting very well. What have I got that's going to fit in there? Let's use this. It's one of those darned recessed screws. So what's inside? Okay. It looks as though there may actually be a capacitive dropper for the LED. That's a refreshing change from the usual. So the supply comes in these thin wires and it goes to the circuitry, and sometimes there is a fuse. Is the fuse actually in the circuit? Yes, the fuse is in the circuit. This is a good thing, a little glass fuse here. So it'll go bang, but it should be okay. That's not a very good description, is it? The fuse here, the glass fuse, will, if it blows, it will, if there was a really dead short, it would probably shatter, but it doesn't matter. It's going to break the circuit. That's what I mean by that. These things, they tend to have a layout for 3 LEDs because they're used commonly in different cases, these circuit boards. And the purpose of this circuit board here is just purely to light this LED. That's all it does. The main component that's doing stuff here is this capacitor here, which is usually just a fan or motor capacitor. Right, okay, let's open the other ones and see what's inside them. So these two are supposed to be rated differently. Oh, this one's only got one screw in it. Much simpler circuitry. This is using a resistive dropper for the LED. Oh look, they've done it again, that thing where they take the case and they file the capacitor to make it fit in. I suppose in a sense it's nice that they're actually making a bigger capacitor fit, but you do wonder about the integrity of such things. Let's open this one and see if it's just identical then. Yeah, pretty much identical. Right. So what have we got? An excess of capacitor resistors for a start. Is that a... It does have a fuse. That's a fuse in this one. It's a really thin piece of wire, although to be honest, I think the cables leading up to it would probably be the first bit of blue. Oh, definitely. Is that a bit thicker, that wire? We've got a 100k resistor. You know what? I'm going to pause momentarily and doodle these circuits down, and then we'll take a look at them. Okay, so let's focus down on the newly reverse engineered circuits here. So it starts off with a fuse. In the case of this one, which is the capacitive dropper on it, it's the actual glass fuse. And then it's got a 3 microfarad capacitor, which looks like a standard motor type capacitor that you find in fans and things like that. And across that, it's got a 270k discharge resistor, just so you don't get a zap off it when you unplug the thing. Then it's got the best LED circuit in the sense that it's got a 100 nanofarad capacitor with a discrete bridge rectifier, full bridge rectifier, and then a 150 ohm resistor in series with an LED. So the LED is going to light at modest brightness, and the components aren't going to get too hot. There is also a 5k1 resistor across that. I'm not sure why they even bothered with that. The only point this would come into play is if the LED failed and went open circuit, and then that would help discharge. It's odd. I don't know why they did that. The other circuit is just bleh. It's very typical of these things where it's like they didn't really know what they were doing even to design a simple resistive current limiter. So this is the one that the fuse doesn't have the glass case. It's just a wire fuse. It's got a 3 microfarad capacitor again, and then it's got this bizarre combination of resistors. It's like they were just filling up all the holes. And they've got the LED is just in series effectively with a 100 ohm resistor, 100 ohm resistor, and 100k resistor. That 100k resistor is, where is it? This one is going to be dissipating the best part of 0.6 of a watt, which is quite severe for a 0.25 watt resistor. Then that's probably going to go open circuit at some point. The LED will go off, and it'll also kill the fact that there's the 1 meg ohm discharge resistor is kind of patched across this array. It's bizarre. I don't know why they did this. It's very odd. So the LED will light on each half wave. It'll be quite flickery. And yeah, that resistor will fail. That's about all you can say about it. And when it does, you'll end up, when you unplug it, this 3 microfarad capacitor will potentially be fully charged, depending when you unplug it in the cycle, and could give you quite a zing. That's not great. So of these ones, the two that came together from the one supplier, I can't even remember which supplier they came from, were extra crap, and the other one was only slightly crap, but they're all crap really, because, well, apart from acting as just a filter capacitor across your mains, they don't really do all that much. In fact, in some circumstances, they may make the power factor of your house worse if you've not got particularly inductive loads in your house. It's very odd. But hey, it's one of those random products you find on eBay.